What's up, everyone? Due to some technical issues, your boy from the Dirty Dirty will be hosting the show today. And without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at Sunday's picks. Producer man, if you could pull those up for me, if you don't mind. A ho-hum day. Looks like Trent Wade went crazy with the NASCAR. Howie, he'll come back this week as well. AB with the Tennessee and Braves. Phillies, BTTS as well. Now, let me say, don't forget, tonight, DTL After Dark.
Yo, Charles, let me take it down a notch, all right? It's Monday. If we don't have Coach here, if AB's not here, I've been the guy who fills in, all right? Thank you for holding it down for the first minute of the show. I'm here. I'm ready to go. I will drive this show today. No problem whatsoever. I mean, come on now.
Timeout, 20-second timeout. I'm the numbers guy on the show. I'm the favorite to host the show when a coach in here minus $5. You dogs are plus $3. I'm going to continue hosting this show. Sorry, Z.
Yeah, look, I don't know what the hell's going on, but if you're in the top left, son, that's when you start holding it down. Yeah, we got this. Don't worry. And the old school background. Look at Howie right there. Looking sharp, boy. Oh, we pissed him off.
Did you all really think? Did you really think with this clown show that was going to be how we started our week? Let's count it down and say all together, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, April Fools! I don't know which one was more unbelievable. But Charles
went right into the recap. Boy. He didn't
right
waste
into
any time.
And he called himself the man from the Dirty Dirty. Hey, he likes it. Maybe Tony says, uh-oh, Coach. Maybe, Charles, you've got a new Z-man. Could he possibly be the backup? Could that happen?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know.
My favorite part was, I think it was the first comment that said, "Oh, dear God."
Sometimes you got to have a little bit of fun. Because what do we say here all the time at DTL? It doesn't have to be serious all the time. But on Mondays, I got the absolute very best in the business. And thank you, Charles, for doing the recap screen for me. It takes a little bit off my plate. But we got a lot to get to today. And I mean a lot. So, producer, man, if you don't mind, it's time to get to the picks. Notar21 says this intro felt like a SNL skit. No, it's much better than that. It's much, much better than that. All right, AB, before we get to the crew, tonight is a rematch. And we have picks on the show in this game. We'll discuss throughout the show as well. But what does the crew have for their choices today? Very important.
Yeah, we got 4 options here, all right, in 2 games. First one, LSU women +2 or Iowa women -2. You're exactly right. The rematch. Angel Reese, Caitlyn Clark, LSU versus Iowa, those 2 options. Then in Major League Baseball, you've got the Blue Jays money line +120 in Houston, taking on the Astros, their money line -145. So those 4 options. Poll is in the chat. Vote now, and we will update as we always do at the end of the show.
You're damn right. Also coming up in Educate and Entertain, we have a brand new feature. It may not be new to all of you, but as you know, any ideas on this show were originally ours anyway. And we have a little bit of bonus for you coming up because AB teased it on Friday. But Raphael and Z, man, I'm starting with you two today because you're both on this women's game tonight. And just a little poetic justice, Z, we're going to start with you, that we have LSU and Iowa for a chance to get to the Final Four. We've seen the numbers. Z-Man, let's start right there. What do you like?
Yeah, so you got to have some kind of action on the game tonight because ever since the women's bracket was made a few weeks ago, the very first thing we all noticed was, wow, LSU, Iowa, they would meet in the region, all right? They would meet with a chance to get to the Final Four. Now, I don't have a problem with that because it's not as if they're meeting in the Sweet 16. The stakes are still pretty damn high. The winner gets to the Final Four. The winner wins their regional championship. But you got to have some kind of action on the game tonight. And the stakes are obviously very high. You got the stories. You got LSU. You got Iowa. You got Angel Reese. You got Caitlyn Clark. You got that Kim Mulkey. Who the heck knows what she's going to wear tonight? Coming out with a fedora. I don't know. I can't predict the future. But I'm going with LSU. I got LSU at +1.5. plus 100 was the price I got. So I'm going to take the dog there, but not just the dog. I'm taking the defending champs. They beat Iowa in the championship game last year. And look, Caitlyn Clark, she can have a big game and LSU still come out winning this game. I feel like LSU, they can be grimy. They can get down and dirty, low post, near the basket, physical. They defend. I feel like that's the kind of game that you need to win this deep into the tournament. I feel like LSU does a better job at that than Iowa. It's more their personality. So I like LSU to win this game tonight and getting 1.5. Also, sorry. Oh, do you want me to do the other pick? Go ahead, Coach.
No. I wanted you to stop there. That was perfect. That was perfect. I want all of you. I never do this early in the show, but it warrants it. Do you want to do the work? I don't think so. Now, we always try to educate and entertain here on the show. So, Raphael, there's some people at home right now saying, wait a second, they have two different numbers up on that recap screen. No, we do not. Because when we put these in, they change from last night to today, and everybody sends them in at different times. So we thought it'd be a great opportunity to kind of explain to the good people at home, why do we have two different numbers on this board?
Well, this morning, pretty much a solid 2 is pretty much all around the board with Iowa's the favorite. And it's funny, I had a meeting last night with probably about a good 6-7 odds makers around the world here in the U.S. and a couple global ones. And this is what the topic we were talking about yesterday. We have no idea what side action, if we're going to get two-way action, if we're going to get all Iowa action, if we're going to get all LSU action. We were pretty much thumbs in the air trying to figure out what was going on in this game right here. This game will probably be better ratings than both games yesterday that was playing for the men's side. So this one's going to be different. I agree with Zaz. I like LSU in this one. Let's put it this way. If you're South Carolina, LSU, Oregon State, any of these top women's games, if you lose to Iowa, it's a huge upset because Iowa only has one transfer on the starting roster. Everyone else has either been there since a freshman year and all that. LSU picked up a lot of college transfers. South Carolina picked up 5 college transfers. So if you lose to Iowa, I think it's a big upset. Granted, they have the best player in college basketball right now, but their starting 4 besides Caitlyn Clark are just average players, nothing to range over it. So I think LSU pounds them down low. I think Reese has a big game, and I'm just going to take the plus points. I'm going to watch the betting screen and the money coming in because I am fascinated to see what side action gets the most on it. Because right now it's about almost 56, 58% on Iowa right now, and it could flip in a heartbeat.
It's incredible information right there. And AB, as I come to you, Tay says, sometimes it seems like Caitlyn is the only person on her team. Is this a situation, and we've seen this before, where we get so caught up in the superstar and we don't look at everything that Z-Man and Raphael just described to us, and then we see potentially a blowout by LSU?
Well, yeah, I mean, Caitlyn certainly is the front and center of the team, but they do have other players, that are good. She just shoots a lot. I wanted to answer the question. We didn't really get to it. The reason, if you pull up the recap screen, the reason that we have 2 different numbers on there is the juice. So you see plus 1.5, if we could get that recap screen back up there. Yeah, so you see LSU plus 1.5 is plus 100. LSU plus 2 is minus 110. So it goes to taking a look at, are you looking at points or are you looking at juice? Are you trying to make more, 20 cents more on your dollar, or are you trying to play where you get the number a little lower? So I wanted to make sure that was, kind of clarified there on the recap screen. But yes, in regards to Iowa and LSU, here's another thing that we're not talking about. Kim Mulkey has been fighting with a reporter for the last 2 weeks publicly about suing, and he just dropped that article yesterday in regards to everything, and it turned out more of like a profile of her. I don't know if they changed it. I don't know what's going on with that, but that's also a matzo ball that's sitting out there, but it won't get as much attention. But she did come out and say, I'm going to sue you if you drop this article. So who knows, man?
She then said, well, most people don't have the means to do this. I do. I was like, damn, okay. By the way, they 100% AB changed that article. That was like the biggest fluff piece I've ever seen in my life. So they couldn't not drop it. You had to drop it, but it was never going to be like what we just saw. Gentlemen, great discussion there on the women's game tonight. By the way, DTL After Dark, we'll be doing live betting. We'll be discussing that game. Should be coming to an end around that time, I believe, if I have the starting times correct. All right, we've got to move on. Charles, first of all, great job hosting the show for about 20 seconds before Z saved your ass. Now,
Tell me.
the leagues are back. The leagues are back. And it really felt good over the weekend. It really, really did. But today, you always have that 1 or 2 league games on Monday. Where are you focused today, sir?
Yeah, I will say, Coach, it was not the most entertaining week of soccer or weekend of soccer as well. We had some crazy results. And then we start out today in Serie A, Inter Milan, Empoli. After a crazy weekend across European soccer, we start a new week in Italy where league leaders, Inter Milan, have had to wait 2 weeks to resume their title chase after dropping points prior to the international break. And Inter could not have asked for a better matchup, winning 9 of their last 10 versus Empoli, while the eventual champs are averaging 2.5 team goals at home. Meanwhile, Empoli, they stroll into the San Siro, hovering around above the relegation zone, losing 3 straight while conceding 43 goals this season. Empoli, they'll certainly try to keep a clean sheet as long as possible, but I see Inter eventually making the breakthrough before the half and add on as this match continues. So we'll go ahead and grab Inter to score in both halves and the over 3 full-time goals.
Absolutely love it. Better days ahead, said Charles. Hates VAR. We know you hate VAR, Charles. Hate VAR.
Does anyone like VAR? Like,
No.
well, no, the reason I ask is that, like, I've never seen anyone like positive about it. And it's like, okay, if everyone hates it, why is it still a thing? You know what I mean?
Well, it's
like,
it's their it's their instant replay system. So that's why it's a thing. But you're right. We only
like even the other side, like both sides hate it. It's like, how is that possible?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You know what else I hate is a 12.5-point spread at any point in the NBA. However, Z-Man, as I come back to you, big boy, you're not scared of 12.5 at all. Explain yourself.
Well, everybody knows you can't be scared. All right. Scared money doesn't win you anything. And the Pacers, yes, there's several big numbers, by the way, tonight in the association. And part of that happens because we're at the point in the season, everybody's got like 8 or 9 games left. And you got teams like, hey, the Brooklyn Nets, who the Pacers are playing. And instead, they get out there onto the court. And when they're ready to go, it's 1, 2, 3 Cancun. All right. So they're just trying to play out the rest of the schedule here while the Pacers are trying to hang on to that top 6 spot for the playoffs. This game's a blowout tonight. This Brooklyn Nets team sucks. I think they're one of the most disappointing teams in the league this season. I like the Pacers tonight. I like the Pacers big. I don't think this is much of a game tonight. So, yeah, I'm going to lay 12.5 for the Pacers against the Brooklyn Nets.
The same Brooklyn Nets who got bounced by the Lakers and allowed the 40-year-old old man to score 40 on them yesterday.
The Lakers started that game 15-0. I mean, come on. They're not trying anymore, the Nets.
Boom, boom, and boom. Now, my one play in the NBA. I'm following up Z-Man. I like the Pelicans. Plus 1.5. It's dicey. Minus 120, a little bit higher juice than I would like. However, the Pelicans at home are a really good basketball team, and I think they're going to start really pushing to the finish line. So give me points at home tonight. I know it's a tough game, but I will still take it. Raphael, we're heading to baseball now. Howie Schwab is on the Rockies Cubs over 6.5. I want you to comment on that because that's your squad, and then tell me why me and you both like the Orioles on the love the Orioles today. You're up.
Well, I'll comment on Howie's play first. I had 2 doctor appointments today that I canceled because the Cubs game started at 1 and one of my appointments was at 12. And then I woke up and I saw the weather report at Wrigley. It's supposed to rain all day. I could have made that doctor appointment because that game would probably be canceled. So I'm a little bit upset. So Howie, me and you would probably, hey, we didn't lose today if the Cubs game gets canceled. So look out for weather on that one. It is raining. I think it's like 90% chance of rain by the first pitch. So hopefully that game does play. On the Orioles game, this is all of, yes, I know the Orioles lost yesterday, but they outscored the Angels on Thursday and Friday 24-7, and then they own this series against Kansas City, winning 4 straight. I just think they have powerful bats. Kansas City is probably going to throw up some softballs. Baltimore Orioles are going to hit those softballs. Would not be shocked if we see a big offensive blowout. Because the Orioles only scored 1 run yesterday. I don't see them scoring 1 run again. I think they pound Kansas City and get to that bullpen, which let's face it, Kansas City's bullpen is horrible. Give me the Orioles to win today, laying -145. I would take this one all the way up to -160. If it goes up to -160, maybe then take a look at maybe first 5 innings.
I said the exact same thing. What I'm going to lean into this year for baseball is, and we learned it a lot last season, that there's a lot of teams that love to go on runs, maybe more so than we've ever seen in our lifetime. And so we're not, as he said, scared of going 6, 7, 8 times in a row. Look at AB. We literally built our bankroll on the backs of the Braves. We literally did that the entire season. I don't understand this whole antiquated thought process. Oh, they won 6, they can't win 7. No. Here, you're going to see trends, and you're going to see my guys really lean into it. Oh, did I mention the Braves, AB? Did I mention the damn Atlanta Braves? You're up, sir.
Thank you, Coach. Yeah, I mean, we went 5-2 Friday, 5-1 Saturday, and we went 1-2 yesterday, but it was important because everybody who watched the Sunday show, we broke down that Sundays are a learning day in Major League Baseball because that is the inflection point from going to one series to the other. Atlanta Braves are a perfect example of that. They played the Phillies last night, travel, and play the Chicago White Sox today. So usually on Sundays, that's when you see stars sit. That's when you see pitching staffs kind of revert more to the bullpens. But since it's week 1 in the Major League Baseball season, we're going to kind of see that today. And that's why I like a couple Atlanta Braves props. So the first one that we're going to go with here is Matt Olson, 1+ hit. We can pull that up so I can take a look. And the Braves team total over 3.5 at -110. Matt Olson, horrible day yesterday. The White Sox are throwing Chris Flexen, who he's been flexing in between being a relief pitcher and a starting pitcher. He's making his season debut today as a full-time starter. And quite frankly, the Braves might get all over his tailgate there. I think that they get to the bullpen early. So I like Olson to redeem himself, get him a hit. Braves team total over 3.5. Next, Ronald Acuna, same deal. 1+ hit. And I like the game to go over 8.5 at -105. We brought that number down, the total, from 9.5 to 8.5 because, again, it is a travel day. So Braves played a late one last night. Don't go too crazy, but over 8.5 with both teams. The Braves are throwing Charlie Morton out there. White Sox should get some hits. There we go. And do you mean to hit this college baseball?
Hit it on a Monday? We get this on a Monday? How?
It's been the weirdest baseball weekend that we were going to deal with all year, and we're finally out of it. And we went, 11-5? Like, it was great. But we're going to go Texas Tech money line, Utah money line. All right, Utah playing directional school located. They should handle their business. Texas Tech playing Stanford. Yes, we hate Stanford. You can't trust Stanford. They are on our banned list. They are gone. Texas Tech, one of the best offenses in college baseball. Should get all over it. Those two together, +115.
And do not forget, This Week in Baseball, every single Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, drops right here on our DTL channel. We have you covered in every single sport. By the way, Raphael, I did not give you your flowers. You are filling that hole for us when it comes to horse racing. Let's go. Are we going to do that every week or like the big races? What do we got?
Yeah, I play all stake races for here and some other sites and all that. I had a nice Florida Derby. Fell short on the Arkansas Derby, but the race before the Arkansas Derby hit a nice exacta and try that paid pretty well. So I'll play other stake races. We'll release them on Saturday if I can text them to AB and all that. Sometimes there's some stake races on Fridays and Sundays. The Sunland Derby is coming up on a Sunday, so we'll see that one. But yeah, that's how I got into the business at Caesar's Palace in 1997, was doing head-to-head matchups in horse racing. So love it.
That's kind of a flex right there. AB, you said flexing, right?
Yep.
Well, I just got this on my phone. I don't know if you heard it. It dinged. And whenever I have quote tweets, they ding. And apparently Charles just quote tweeted the tweet from Driving the Line. And it said this: if you missed my hosting debut today on Driving the Line, I'm not even finished yet, Raphael. Please, you can check us out on demand as well. Charles, the show isn't even over yet, and you're already quote tweeting the show for people to watch on demand.
My man's feeling it. I like it.
Feeling it, getting it out there to the people, letting them know.
All right. Well, while he lets them know, we've got a little time. And we got all the picks in, Charles. I mean, you are running the show. Everybody's good. Everybody's good. All right. Charles will be around for DTL After Dark tonight. Every single Monday, we'll either have DTL After Dark or we'll have Shoot Your Shot. Every Monday we'll be live, though. Every single Monday night. All right. I believe we've got them all in. So it is now time to look ahead. And we do that in a little section we like to call Educate, Entertain. Gentlemen, we have ourselves a Final Four that nobody, and I repeat, nobody could have predicted this. It's basically the UConn Invitational because UConn is the defending champions. They're taking on Alabama and then NC State and Purdue. Can't wait for those two big boys down low. So, AB, let's start with you. Let's start with UConn, a team that for the last 2 years, they haven't had a game closer than 13 points in the NCAA tournament. This is all-time next-level kind of stuff. However, when you look at it, it's 11.5, which is a high number for a Final Four game. We know that. When you see that 11.5, what's your take?
UConn. Like, why would I not? Like, I mean, they're just beating the piss out of everyone and anyone that comes in front of them. They don't care. Hurley's yelling at his players when they're up by 47 points. Look, man, I got to give credit to Alabama, NC State, even Purdue. Like, they've had excellent seasons, but, I mean, UConn's just different. They're just different, man.
That's a great line, Z. They're just different. And even a close game, you look up, and they go on a 30-0 run after halftime. It's absolutely insane what they're doing, but we never want to give people or teams credit in real time. We always have to look back, 20 years later, they were great in 2024. This is a legit great basketball team. Your take?
Yeah, by the way, shout out to University of Miami Hurricane men's basketball team because the team that gave them the closest fight, only losing by 13, was the Hurricanes last year in the Final Four against UConn. Wow. That's the closest game they've played, 13 points. You know, the biggest surprise to me was Illinois ties the game at 23 late in the first half. And then UConn decides, okay, you know what would be a good way to wind up getting this game open a little bit? How about we score 30 unanswered? They score 30 unanswered. The next thing you know, you look up the scoreboard, it's 53-23, and that's all she wrote. But I will tell you, while obviously I like UConn in this game, I don't know that, I'm not terribly comfortable laying the 11.5 points because Alabama has been just as impressive to me. And the reason I say Alabama has been just as impressive is because what's been the story on Alabama the entire season and going into the tournament? They don't defend. They score a ton of points. They don't defend. And you saw in the very first game against Charleston, they allowed 96 points to Charleston. It's like, come on. I mean, it's Charleston. You're giving up 96 points, but the rest of the way, they've done a terrific job. They gave up just 61 to Grand Canyon. They obviously knocked off North Carolina, 89-87. Clemson, they hold to 82. And so this Alabama team, it's almost like they've gotten to a place and they've been able to turn the switch on and defend a little bit out there. And when you show that you could win both ways, you could score a ton and you could also defend, that's how you advance deep in this tournament. So I certainly like UConn on the money line to win the game outright. But as far as the 11.5 points, I don't know. I think Alabama can keep this game tight.
Yeah, right now that money line price is minus 750. If you want to lay that, have at it. Raphael, Zach says if a team goes on a 30-0 run in the Elite Eight, stop the game, give them the national championship. A lot of people feel that way right now, that nobody can touch UConn. But Alabama, they play it their way. And to Z's point, they've won it two different ways in this tournament. In your opinion, which way do they need to play in order to try and knock off UConn?
Oh, because I've been eating crow for the past weekend because I've been fading UConn in this whole tournament. So I've been eating crow this whole tournament with UConn, and I just can't jump on board with them now. I'm going to continue to fade them. I think this number is a little bit too high. I made UConn like a 9-10 point favorite, a little bit too high. The public's going to be all over UConn. This one will probably close around 12.5, just because of what we've seen on TV. A 35-0 run. I changed the channel. I started watching baseball. I'm like, I ain't watching this game anymore on a 35-0 run in the second half. This is just going to be ridiculous. I'm more curious on the Purdue game, and I'm going to throw this out. The MVP for the Final Four or to win the national championship, Zach Edey's plus 2-1. If he has another monster game, and you figure Clegan, Newton, Spencer, and Castle could all wipe each other out if it's Purdue and UConn for the MVP. You're trying to tell me I can get the big man at 2-1 to win the MVP when all four of those other UConn players could wipe each other out one game? One guy might have a better game, the other guy, stuff like that. Give me the big guy who probably could put up 40 points in a Final Four game and in a championship game. 2-1 plus money in a big guy that looking for maybe to rise up the NBA draft. I like the big man at 2-1 to win the MVP.
Look, in the fact that Edey gets to stand in the paint for 8 seconds. I mean, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It was 9.
A little bit of a shade there.
It was 9. It was 9. I literally saw some social media account actually counted it with a clock. That was crazy. Absolute crazy. Yeah, facts. Raphael is spitting all kinds of facts today. By the way, do you see all those accounts that before we're saying Zach Edey's not even going to get drafted? Those same accounts are like, is Zach Edey the diamond in the rough of the new NBA draft? Stop it. Just stay on one side or the other, because AB, as we head to that game, there's going to be some big boys hanging out in the paint. Edey coming up 40. I think he was the first player to go 40 and 15 since 1973, something like that. It was crazy the game he had. Then you got the big boy DJ for NC State. When you look at the numbers here, and we'll talk about it a lot tonight on DTL After Dark, 9.5 for Purdue, and over 146.5 is minus 105. The under is juiced to minus 115. AB, talk to me.
All right, so first off, like I was just giving Edey hell. Like, I mean, he's a hell of a player, and Purdue is a hell of a team, man. NC State also, like, they don't go away. Like, they just keep coming at you. It's going to be a really fun game. I will take the, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to take the over in this one.
Okay.
I think that NC State's going to throw it right at the wall, and I think that Purdue's going to continue to do what they do, but they will get out and shoot a little bit more from the outside as well. It's going to be a fun game. I can't wait to watch it. Also, I wanted to say real quick, in regards to the UConn Alabama, remember, Danny Hurley of UConn, he gave Alabama coach Nate Oates his first college job. Nate Oates was at a high school calling colleges, asking for a job because he was crushing it. Nothing. And then Hurley was at Wagner. They didn't even have somebody to answer the phone. Finally, our man Hurley answers it and says, come on, let's go. So you're going to see that play into it as well. These coaches know each other.
It's amazing how fast things can happen when given an opportunity on something that is successful. Interesting concept there, AB. All right, Z-Man, let me come over to you, big boy, because right now we're seeing Purdue. And last year I thought Edey shocked the world when he said he was going to come back and get better with his game. And clearly he has, at least through the first 4 games of this tournament. But is 9.5 over a team that just won the ACC tournament, that just reached the Final Four? Is that too many points?
Well, look, the run's eventually going to come to an end for NC State. Like, it's pretty crazy what they're doing here. And I know it's the first time they've been in the Final Four since '83. And of course, very famously, Valvano's the coach. It's fun. You know, the Cinderella slipper still fits. But let's not forget, this was a 14-loss team. All right. This was a team that had no chance of getting to the tournament as an at-large unless they went on that run, 5 wins in 5 days, and won the ACC. So they won 9 games in a row. 9 games in a row. All of which have been must-win games. And now they're taking on Purdue. Now, I already told you guys, teams that were the number 1 seed, that lost in the first round, the very next year, every time in the NCAA tournament history, they win the national championship. Now, it's only happened one time before, all right? So Purdue's looking to become the second. But every time it's happened, the team comes back and they win the whole thing. So Purdue looking to keep that streak alive. At the college level, I'm not a believer in Zach Edey at the pro level, but at the college level, you could see he's so much bigger and so much stronger than everybody. I mean, his legs are like tree chunks. It reminds you of Yao Ming. So, yeah, I think Purdue winds up overwhelming this NC State team, even though I love that DJ Burns. I mean, I'm going to be rooting for him hard. That was a show he put on yesterday. The father was flexing at him in the crowd. I love it. So I'm rooting for NC State here, but I think Purdue's going to be a little bit too much.
And my man took pictures with the security under the arena after the game. Like, you know, all the women that we love all the time that you put your coats in when you're coming in underneath the arena or they let you up through. They're always the nicest people. Always the nicest people. He took pictures with all of them. He's my new favorite player. He's my new favorite player. Absolutely love it. By the way, Yao Ming, Z-Man, when I worked at MSG years ago, I'm getting onto that freight elevator at Madison Square Garden, and it's just me and one other person. Yao Ming. It was the most awkward, 15 or 20 seconds of my life. I came up to his kneecap. Literally came up to his kneecap. Raphael, I saw somebody today, and I felt like you because I was looking up any big bets going on. Well, there is somebody who bet $50 at plus 60,000 on NC State. They would win $30,000 and $50. Would there be a scenario where said book, previous to the Final Four game, would make a payout selection? And your take on this game?
I'm selling that ticket if I'm that person. You can sell that ticket. I would hedge that ticket. I did talk to two books yesterday. One book had 3 tickets for NC State to win it all. The other book had 2 tickets for NC State to win it all. I can guarantee you those 5 tickets are hedging because right now you're winning. You can hedge that ticket. You're going away with a lot more money than you put on there. Now, each of those 5 tickets, there was no more than $100 or less bet on that. But I'm just saying, if you want to walk away a winner for the Final Four and say, hey, I had a great NCAA tournament in 2024, hedge that ticket because you're getting perfect money right now.
All right. And plenty more on both games coming up tonight. DTL After Dark right here for all of you crew members. If you're not a crew member, I encourage you to do it right now. It's very simple. Right on this page, hit that join button, and you can join us for all of the crew exclusives. Now, AB, we're starting something today, and I know we're very, very excited about it. It gives us something to root for every single day, and we're going to have a little prize element to it, at least for a while. We'll see how it goes. But, sir, if you don't mind, before my boys play for the very first time, explain our new little game now that baseball is back.
Yeah, this is called Going Yard, or as some others called Going the Yard. All right, every single day we're going to bring 6 players in Major League Baseball who, you can leave that screen right up, who are statistically ready to hit a bomb today. And how this works is this. Each one of us are going to pick either someone here, or you could go off the board, but these are your 6 quote-unquote best. And everyone in the chat, drop yours in there as well. And, Coach, I'll throw it back to you in regards to prizes and all that. But that's how you play the game right there. Pick who's going to hit a home run today.
All right, so here's what we're going to do, because producer man has got to have something to do while we're out here dazzling on this show. So we want you, because you can only do one poll. We already have the poll at the beginning of the show. So I want you guys to type into the chat who you think from this group of players will go yard. We'll kind of get a consensus. We'll pick a player. And then if that player hits, we will give out the very next day, which is tomorrow, a DTL t-shirt, whatever one you want. But you got to play. You got to watch live. It's just how it works. All right. So we're already seeing a lot of people can figure it out how to play. Z-Man, I'm coming to you with these names and these numbers. Who for you, oh, this makes me feel so good to say this, AB, is going to go the yard?
Yeah, I like Mike Trout. I'll go with Mike Trout, the plus 325. You got the Angels tonight. Angels suck, all right? But they're playing at the Marlins. Marlins suck too. Marlins just went 0-4 this weekend. At home, they got swept in a 4-game series by the Pirates, all right? If that doesn't tell you what kind of season it's going to be for the Marlins, I don't know what to tell you. But the Marlins have Max Meyer on the hill today. He's one of their big prospects. It's only his 3rd major league start. And you get to see Mike Trout today. Come on. Trout can lead off the game with a home run. I wouldn't be surprised. We know he bats leadoff for the Angels. So I'm going Trout plus 325. I see him hitting one deep off Max Meyer.
Trout went yard on opening day, by the way, and then they proceeded to getting just raked for the rest of that game. All right, so we got one, Mike Trout from the Z-Man. Raphael, let me come over to you, big boy. Where are you heading today?
First of all, I'm shocked that AB didn't put the whole lineup of the Atlanta Braves on the board. So I think I'm a little bit shocked on that one. But Juan Soto should be at least 5-1 because it's one of the late games on the board. And you said Trout could hit a home run at leadoff. But give me Soto. He's played in Arizona before because he was on the Padres last year. Nelson, it struggles against left-handed batters. So I'm going to get Juan Soto for the Yankees. It should be higher, but I'll take the plus 375. I think he hits one out today.
By the way, how about the Yankees going on the road and getting it done, sweeping the Houston Astros over the weekend? My goodness. Soto, that big throw at the plate in the ninth to secure that first win. By the way, AB, I mean, I don't know what he's talking about. I'm just reading stuff in the chat, just reading it. Scott says, wait a minute. Isn't the answer Jorge Soler?
Solar power.
If you know, you know.
Ex-Cub.
Roll the dice.
Roll the dice. Not even on the screen. Who would ever do that? Who would pick a name not on the screen? No, that's against all the rules until it's not. AB, where are you going, big boy?
All right. So Matt Olson has the best history lined up in front of him. All right. But I'm going to go Yordan Alvarez of the Astros. He has not hit a home run at all this year. Now, we're only a couple games into the season. And Aaron Judge hasn't as well. Both of these guys are extremely overdue for a bomb. So I think that either Judge or Alvarez, good options. Like all of these guys are good options. I feel why people would go Judge. Don't hate it at all. I'm going Yordan Alvarez today.
All right. So you're going to go with Alvarez. We have a Trout and we have a Soto. All right. I know everybody's looking at the chat. What do we think the chat has voted on the most? Would you say Olson?
Probably Matt Olson.
Probably Matt Olson. That's what I would say too. All right. Are we all cool with it? All right. So the chat is going to go
Charles
with Matt
just texted
Olson.
and said Matt Olson as well.
We've literally unleashed an absolute animal. We've unleashed an animal. All right. So the chat's play today is Matt Olson at plus 275. If he hits a home run, then tomorrow, live on the show, we will pick one of you and send you a Driving the Line t-shirt. You can pick any one that you want, and we will send it to you in express mail, sort of. This is going to be a lot of fun. When these start to hit, boy, is it a lot of fun. All right, gentlemen, well done today. Final Four again, DTL After Dark tonight. We'll break down everything. But before we get out of here, for those of you who can't drop in at the top of the show, we got you covered. It's time for the Whip Around. Damn, I love that song. Charles, were you really texting AB during the show?
Oh, yeah, I had to get my choice in there, Coach. Matt Olson, 5 for 15 against Flexen, 2 doubles. He hadn't hit a home run, but he's made good contact. So coming off yesterday, I can definitely see him launching one against Flexen.
Damn, AB. Damn, maybe we need to have Charles do a little Major League Baseball. Who knows?
Brown noser.
All right. By the way, if you guys didn't watch DTL After Dark on Friday, Charles is a hidden gem. I feel like the live shows are his bread and butter. I mean, he was amazing, AB. Amazing. Just got to say
I watched it. Yeah, it was good.
Right? Right?
Yep.
Oh, no. I think he's been holding back on us a little bit here at the show. You're kind of like the Bill Belichick of Driving the Line. Everybody thinks Bill Belichick is like that. He's not. If you're ever around him, he's like one of the coolest dudes ever. He likes to put on a show. Speaking of a show, that's what we're doing right now. So, Charles, if you don't mind, start us off. This is the part of the show where we go 10 seconds or less on every single pick. Charles, start us off.
Yeah, Serie A, Inter Milan, Empoli. I'm going to grab Inter Milan to score in both halves and the over 3 full-time goals.
Boom. Charles has a voice too. Z-Man. Oh, I love your 2 plays today. Talk to me.
Yeah, let's go with the LSU women tonight, plus 1.5. I'm going with the defending champs. I just think that their style of play is going to be a little bit too much for Iowa once again. And the Pacers need this game. The Brooklyn Nets, their season's virtually over. I like the Pacers to smoke Brooklyn tonight, minus 12.5.
The Nets had 0 pulse yesterday, less than a pulse today. Raphael, my numbers guy, you're up.
I'm taking LSU +2, and I just got a text from one of the bookmakers saying that tonight's game will probably have the same limits as a men's college basketball game. So that just throws me away on how much money they're going to get in this LSU-Iowa game. So give me LSU +2, and give me the Orioles -145. They should have no issue cracking the bat and getting some runs early.
I said it. If I can get the Orioles at home, less than -150, I'm gonna take them until they start telling me not to. That's just what I'm gonna do. And if Raphael validates my thought process, that's all I need to know. So I backed that up. Orioles money line -145. Then I also love the Pelicans tonight, and they are at home against the Suns. It's the latest game on the board. 8 o'clock Eastern, I believe, is the start time. The Pelicans are starting to play better basketball, and they don't want to wait until next year. They want to do it this year. You're getting points at home, a little juicy, but I'll still take that. AB, bring us home.
My man Carl Brutus in the chat has an awesome play. Mike Trout and Yordan Alvarez at +1,110 on the parlay. So, Carl, shout out to you. I'm going to jump on that right after the show. We're playing Texas Tech college baseball money line, Utah college baseball money line +115. Matt Olson, the Atlanta Braves, 1+ hit, and the Braves team total over 3.5. That comes out to -110. And then Ronald Acuna of the Braves, 1+ hit. And the Braves White Sox over 8.5. We've dropped that down from 9.5 at -105.
Oh, sometimes I have those moments where I just realize how much fun doing this really is. I just had one of those moments. Listening to all you guys, the fact that we get to work together is absolutely amazing. Z-Man, before we get out of here, where can we find all your stuff, sir?
Oh, well, actually, tonight we'll be live streaming It's Still Real to Me. That's my wrestling podcast, which you can find anywhere you get your podcast. It's under the Zaslow Show 2.0 banner. Zaslow Show 2.0 is every day, Monday through Friday. We're Miami-centric, but we cover everything. And tonight, another episode of my wrestling podcast, It's Still Real to Me. It'll be at 7 p.m., right before Monday Night Raw. We are just 5 days away from WrestleMania. Come on, let's go. We're getting fired up.
It's hard to believe. There was a great promo I saw on social media today. I don't know if a fan did it or if it's a WWE produced thing, but it was amazing on Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. If anybody hasn't seen it, it's floating around out there. Like he's driving in a truck. I don't know if you've seen it, Z-Man. Like Cody's driving in a truck. Oh, gosh. It's really, really good. It's floating around out there. I watched it this morning. Raphael, where can we find your stuff at, sir?
You can find me on all my social media outlets on Twitter, VSI.Sports, Instagram, Rafael Esparza, and find all my content and writing at DocSports.com. And all my WrestleMania odds and prop bets are out. More prop bets will be out coming soon, so more sports bets will probably grab them as the week comes. And I'm on 4 wrestling shows tonight, plus DTL tonight. So I got a busy night.
AB, he's never offered to come on Behind the Turnbuckle, though.
I did too, ask.
Well, does he sleep? I just want a simulcast of him doing all the shows at the same time. Just 6 screens of Raphael.
I've done 2 shows at the same time once. It's very hard. It's not
really
fun. Yeah, I was on mute and 2 different Zooms on 2 different computers.
Oh my God, that's something I would love to do to Charles after today. Put him on mute on 2 different channels. There, Charles. Mr. ROI Capper on the X. Are you going to be on DTL After Dark tonight?
Come on now, Coach. You already know the answer to that. If you'll have me, I'll definitely be there.
Just letting that just sink in for a second. Damn it, I love this so much. Gentlemen, great job by you today. Great freaking job by you today. All right, it's time to wrap things up. It's time for the closing bell. AB, Joey in the chat says, Behind the Turnbuckle dropped this week in our latest episode. Coach's story about Hornswoggle sent me down a rabbit hole of binging Coach's work. I told a story on the show, AB, about Hornswoggle, who's the very first midget to have a full-time WWE contract. One of the best dudes. We had a program. We called it a program where I got to work with him for like 6 straight months every single day. And he gave me the frog splash off the top rope. But it hurt more than anybody else's. Do you know why?
No.
Because when you give a frog splash, normally you can, your arms and your legs hit. And then you can kind of cushion the blow. With him, all of his body weight was on me. And so people go, which one hurt the most? I was like, Hornswoggle. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. I'm like, yes, he did. That dude, all 175.
It reminds me of like Bobby Eaton, like with the Alabama Jam. Like, if it's not a technician who knows how to not hurt you, and I'm not saying anything against him as a wrestler, right? I'm just saying, like, yeah, like that can either really hurt or you feel nothing at all. Yeah, for sure.
No question. God, I love doing Behind the Turnbuckle. I love Zaz's shows. I love all the stuff that Raphael does. Charles, I mean, we're really, AB, I feel like today, it's April 1st, we're really turning a corner. Do you feel that?
Oh, I feel it. That corner is turned.
You're damn right. Now, we've got Matt Olson as our very first chat selection. If he goes yard today, somebody will win a T-shirt tomorrow. But what about the chat's everyday pick? Where are they headed?
They are going with Caitlyn Clark in Iowa.
What?
Massive votes. 44% going to Iowa -2 against LSU. That is where the crew is going. Hawkeye up, as they say.
Wow. By the way, whoever's running our social just said it's our highest viewed. Is that this episode?
Yes.
This is the highest viewed show we've ever had.
By absolutely far.
By far. Interesting.
Far.
You know what's going to happen is Charles is going to take credit for all of the viewership today. For all the people that decided to check out our little show.
Also, I don't know why my screen has said insane person, but I mean accurate. So,
God, I love all the different personalities on this show. AB, great job, big boy. Great job by you. All the work that he puts in. I wish you guys knew and saw all the work that not only AB, but everybody, producer man, Z man, Raphael. That's what it takes. That's what it takes when you're growing something into what we believe will be the biggest sports and sports betting brand in America in the next couple of years. We believe that. But you got to grind every single day. And you got to understand that now it's time for you to go out into the world. Pay it forward. Be kind to one another. Be honest with each other. And know that every single day at 10 a.m. Eastern time, we will be here. And I hope you will be here too. And with all that being said, there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. What a day we have. You got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. My attack group, Lobo. The man from the Dirty Charles. My man from South Beach, the Z-Man. My numbers guy, Raphael. My 5-tool player, AB, and producer man, always behind the scenes, making the show look like $1 million. We grind for you so we can win with you. Do not forget, crew exclusive content posted in the next 30 minutes just for you. For all of you who simply want more from Driving the Line. Good luck.